Hello, my name is Makinzie Miranda, and this is my Culinary 142 Food Science Final. Today I am going to be making steak, garlic mashed potatoes with gravy, and sauteed green beans. For the first part of our dish, we are going to be cooking the steak. I already preheated the pan and it has some olive oil in it, and the steak is pre-seasoned with Montreal steak seasoning. We're going to go ahead and add this to the pan. We are then going to flip the steak, and we are going to baste it with a tablespoon and a half of butter and thyme. Alright, our steak is done, so we are going to pass it onto the plate. And we are going to cut into it to check its doneness. So as you can see, it is medium rare, which is the doneness we wanted. So we have our pot of boiling water. We are going to add one diced potato. We are going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic. Give that a quick stir. And off camera, I'm going to mash the potatoes with a tablespoon of butter. For the gravy portion of the dish, I will be mixing steak drippings and milk. And I will be also using 1/4 cup of flour to make a gravy. And I'll just whisk those together until we get a gravy-like consistency. For the final part of this dish, we'll be sauteing green beans. I already have a pan with melted butter. We're going to add the green beans. And we're going to add a teaspoon of garlic. And then we're just going to toss them and saute them until tender. Before we go into the finale of the video, I'm going to give you an information overload. The modules that we covered in this video are from Module 2, Food Molecules, Module 3, Cooking Methods and Utensils, Module 6, Meat, and Module 9, Vegetables. To begin, let's talk about Module 2, Food Molecules. A protein molecule called myoglobin is present in the New York strip steak that we cooked. Myoglobin contributes to the meat's red color by holding onto the iron contained in oxygen. Myoglobin also adds to the meatiness of the steak. In the gravy making process, the water molecules are slowly evaporating and the leftover water molecules are aiding in the dissolving of the flour. These processes cause the gravy flavor to be less concentrated on water and flour and more concentrated on the spices such as garlic and pepper and the cream, which was milk. The garlic from the steak drippings used in the gravy contains fructose, a type of sugar. Due to garlic's sugar content, garlic will brown under heat. The browning of the garlic contributes greatly to the savory flavor of the gravy. And we also used Module 3, Cooking Methods and Utensils, to make our dish. Conduction was used to cook the steak through the direct heat transfer from the stovetop to the pan to the steak. The steak was cooked under simple frying cooking methods because we used oil and we heated it up in the pan. If we were to flash boil the green beans, then submerge them in an ice bath before sauteing them, then the green beans would have maintained a more vibrant green color known as chlorophyll. However, due to time constraints, we simply sauteed our green beans, which resulted in a slightly browning occurring, causing the green beans to be lightly caramelized. By boiling the potatoes before mashing them, the water envelops the potatoes in heat, which softens the starch molecules and allows the potatoes to absorb the water, which causes the potatoes to become more tender and easier to mash. Module 6 talks about meat, and the protein that we used in our dish was the New York strip steak. A couple facts about the steak. Cutting against the meat's grain breaks the meat's muscle fibers, which changes the meat's texture from chewy to tender. Cooking the meat to about 125 degrees Fahrenheit allows the meat to retain its juiciness, due to only a small amount of the water molecules being cooked out of the meat. This cooking method also contributes to the steak's biteable texture. When heat is added to the steak's fat, the fat is contributing to the non-stick solution offered by the olive oil and butter due to the fat melting under high heat. Our garlic mashed potatoes served as our starch for our dish, which covers Module 9, vegetables, and Module 2, food molecules. Because the potatoes are boiled in garlic water, the potatoes absorb the flavor of the garlic while ridding of any extra starch molecules that will be released in the water itself. Potatoes are a type of tuber and, because they grow in soil, contain a natural earthy flavor when cooked. By combining a little bit of potato water with fat or butter while mashing the potatoes, the mashed potato product will have enhanced flavor particles and add to the creaminess of the potatoes. Gravy is served as our sauce for the dish, which covers Module 2, food molecules. We use flour to thicken the sauce and milk to thin the sauce as needed, and milk actually contributed to the creaminess of the sauce itself. By using equal parts of steak drippings, which contain fat, and flour, a roux is created, which will be the base for the gravy making process. The steak drippings used in the gravy halt the free movement of water molecules in the gravy, causing the gravy to contain more substance and thicken while it cooks. For our vegetable, we sautéed fresh green beans, which covers Module 9, vegetables. By sautéing the green beans until they are pokeable, or al dente, we are able to keep most of the fibers and nutrients intact with the vegetable without ridding of the green beans' health benefits. Green beans collect nutrients such as sugars and amino acids, but they do not transform these nutrients into complex compounds, which contributes to the tastiness of green beans because the nutrients are kept simple rather than making the bean itself a mixture of compounds and flavor. The tissues contained in green beans are very active, which causes the sugar to be in constant production in the seeds, leaving the outer protective pods rather bland. Before I show you the final product, let's recap everything in the video so far. We began with cooking our protein, which was our New York strip steak, our starch, which was our garlic mashed potatoes, our sauce, which was our made from scratch gravy, and our vegetable, which was our fresh green beans. We also went over some fun facts behind the food science and the molecular structure of the food itself. Now let's go to the final product. And here is our final product. We have steak as our protein, green beans as our vegetable, and mashed potatoes as our starch with gravy as our sauce. Thank you for watching.
Potatoes.